All right, any questions as we start?
Right.
Okay, here we go. Let's move around as we start to focus on the breath. Yes, that breath again. Breathing in and out through the nose. My dogs have been breathing through the mouth a bit. They're panting in this heat. That's for sure. And then come back to neutral and feel your sitting bones. Your sitting bones are those, they're like sticks. It feels like sticks. They're pushing down into the chair. You can always take your finger there to feel them, to know where they're at. And it's not a bad thing to do because it helps you to sit up right and to know what's really pushing down into the seat of the chair, to have that sensation. Lift your shoulders now towards your ears like they're earrings. And then exhale, let it go. Let it go like you've got 5-pound weights in each hand. And then inhale, lift up. Maybe make a fist, maybe crunch your face. And then exhale and let it go. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. Good. Now, take your shoulders forward. They're coming forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. And now let's smooth that out. So circling each way, forward, up, back, and down. We go a little bit faster. Roll it as you breathe in and out. And then let's reverse it. So back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. And a few times like that. Notice one way may feel easier than the other. For me, moving backwards feels easier than moving towards the front. And then come to neutral. So where's neutral? Lift up, lower down, find that medium point. So imagine a smile going across your collarbone. And now let's extend our arms outwards. Feel your shoulder blades start to come onto your back. Let's twist so the thumbs move down, back of the hand is forward, and then palms move upwards. And do this a few times. And as you do this, twisting one way and then the other, or rotating, take your mind's eye to your shoulder blades, which are back behind you. And then let's move the arms back a little bit, like that V we were making if we were holding on to a door frame. That's it, twisting. And now let's bring it forward and upwards as we breathe in and we breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out, and lower it down. Awesome. Take your chin towards your chest and inhale, lift the top of the head. Exhale, turn the chin towards the right. Inhale, chin back to center. Exhaling, chin towards the left. And inhaling back to center. Extending the right arm out to the side, lifting the arm skyward. Exhale, bend your elbow and touch yourself wherever that is. Probably feeling a stretch right around there, Notice if your head starts to come forward when we do this, and try to press the head gently back towards your hand. Not that back, but just so that the crown of your head feels like it's moving upright. And then open the arm back up, cross it over the front of the body. Use your left hand to bring the arm in and drop this right shoulder. So it's not up like that. Drop it down as you lengthen the arm in front of you. Open the arm up, gaze back behind you. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift the arm up and cross it over towards the left. Then open up your left arm out to the side. Lift it skyward. Exhale, bend the elbow. Tuck yourself behind. Wherever it touches, it's okay if it doesn't go to your mid-back. It might just go towards the back top of your head. Feel the stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then open up the arm and cross it over. So now we've got arm over arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Give yourself a hug, crossing arms, lift them, hug them around you. Feel fingertips towards the back of your body and maybe give your shoulder blades a little massage over there. Notice if it's tender. Notice if it's tender. Give it a nice massage. Ooh, I just found if you move up and down, you might find a spot. Move your fingertips, your finger pads around and about, and then let's do the other side. Open up now, the left arm out, swing it across, relax that shoulder down, use your right hand to bring the arm across. Breathe in and breathe out. Open it up. And now we're going to twist that left, we're going to twist our spine. Left arm comes towards right thigh. Right arm is behind us. Maybe you gaze at your thumb. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the arm, circle it over. Our arms are crossing. Let's take our chin to our chest here, rounding the spine. And then inhale, lift up, and your opposite arm is on top. Give yourself a hug and massage the back right here. See, wherever you're touched, you're going to give it a little massage. It might be even towards your ribs a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out. Open up your arms, lift them skyward. Bend the elbows. Take a side bend towards your right. That's it. And then open up the arms. Bend the arms. Lift back up. Push down through your feet. Exhale, side bend towards your left. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. So a lot of times we can feel this more with the elbows bent. Pull the ribs back a little bit. Open up the arms wide. That's it. Now let's go from one side to the other with long arms towards the right and then towards the left as we breathe in and as we breathe out. So side to side. Good. Next time you find your side bend towards the right, allow the arm to go over the ear. Elbow bending is just fine. If your right arm feels like it can touch the left wrist or forearm, go for it. Put your hands around it and then feel a little bit of a stretch towards your right. So give a little traction. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise up. Side bend now towards your left, elbows bending. Pull the ribs back. Maybe straighten the arms. Maybe left hand comes to right wrist or forearm and give it a little bit of traction. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, flow your arms down, spread your fingers wide. Awesome. Circle the shoulders once again, around and about. Take a strap if you have one, or a cane works too, and place and you also, by the way, can do a loop. So here's the options. You're holding on to the cane or the tie, and it's wider than your shoulders. And canes work perfectly too. For those of you who it hurts your hands to hold the strap, you can have a loop like this and place your arms or your wrists in the strap, and that's kind of nice too. We're going to side bend towards the right and feel if you would like to make it a little bit wider, a little bit shorter. Inhale, rise up, and exhale other way. Ooh, nice stretch. And then inhale, come on up. You can let's take our arms forward, lift them up, and bend your elbows. Take the strap or the cane back behind you. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, forward. Lift back up. Bend your elbows. Place the cane or the strap back behind you towards your shoulders. I love this one. Can you feel your shoulder blades on your back here when you do this? And then if you feel like your chest is moving forward, pull it back. I know mine likes to go forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale in front of you. Lift it back up and exhale it. Take it back behind you and feel that. Really nice. One more time, lift it up and release. Give it a break. Keep your cane or your strap. I'll show the cane now, but you can use, just so you can see, you really can use either one. And we're going to take the cane or the strap back behind us. Might be hard on the chair. You got to come forward. You're going to take your right hand up, bend the elbow like we did earlier. And so the cane or the strap is back behind you. Then relax your shoulders because it's going to tend to lift up. Relax it down. Use your left hand and maybe find the strap or the cane back behind you. You guys might have done something similar to this in PT. So your arms can be wide like this, so the hand may be up here, or your hands may be able to move a little bit closer towards each other. We want to pull the ribs back so they're not pushing forward like that. So pull them back. And yes, you consider stand for this. Either one is great. And feel this. Now, if your left shoulder feels like it's coming forward, pull it back. And then give it a break and release. You can just let it go. Don't try to be fancy about letting it go. Don't hit your head, but it's good to just let it go. Otherwise, it can get kind of awkward. Let's do the other side. So now you're lifting the left arm up, bending the elbow, and you're going to land somewhere around here. Then you're going to take your right hand to the strap or the cane, wherever it lands. Then you might move your hands towards each other a little bit. Pull the ribs back. Breathe in. Breathe out. If this right shoulder is coming forward, pull it back. And then feel the sensation of the stretch. You may be able to walk the hands a little bit closer together after a few breaths, and maybe not. No pain, remember, all gain. If for some reason the bottom arm doesn't like going back there, that's okay. Just do the top arm. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go without trying to be fancy about it. Just let it go. Yep. If it's a strap, you can just let it fall down. Let it go. All right, let's do a little bit of lower body. So our legs, and let's start by lifting the right knee towards us. Give it a big hug. Hug it in. We sit tall. We sit tall and then rock forward and back on your sitting bones a few times. So here's back, kind of leaning back. Here's leaning more forward and center, and then lift up tall. Then take your hands towards your shin and give yourself a massage on the sides of the calf and behind the calf. If your hands are able to touch back there, just kind of give it a little massage back there. This area can get super tight. And when it's tight, it can be hard. You might not feel the stretch yet up here. I've noticed that with several people. Like first, we've got to get the calf a little bit looser and lengthier before we're going to feel the stretch in the hamstring. And then you might even massage yourself under the knee. I'm just showing you. You can take your fingers under there and give it a little massage. That can be where it's very tender, very tender. So nice massage. And then let's go ahead and circle this leg around and about. Bring it towards you, out to the side, forward, and back to center. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out. And then place the foot back down, let it go. Let's do the other side. Left knee lifting towards you. You can use one or two hands. Feel equal weight in your sitting bones. Lean backwards, lift up, lean backwards, and lift up. Feel the difference of leaning back towards the back of your sitting bones and lifting up, more center on your sitting bones. And then let's take our hands and kind of massage the back and the sides of the calf with the pads of your fingers. Give it a little massage there. You can also, by the way, it's been a while since I showed this, but you can use a rolling pin when your foot is down and kind of massage there too, which is nice. And then maybe get under the knee and around, just a little bit above the knee, a little bit below, and notice where it may be tight. This is good information for you. And then let's go ahead and circle the leg around and about as we breathe in and as we breathe out, and place the foot back down. And I'm going to turn to the side so we can use our strap and do some stretching with the legs. Another thing I've noticed is sometimes people bring their feet close together like this when seated or standing. So try to keep your feet hip distance apart, and you can get an idea even by putting the block in between, and just to get an idea of what it feels like to have your feet about sitting bone distance apart. Let's go ahead and stretch the right leg and place the strap around the bottom of the foot. So you could use the loop like I'm showing here. Since the loop is there, I'm just using it today. But a lot of people like the loop because then they're not stressing their hands out. And you could put your wrists in like this. And that way, if you know you get sore fingers or sore wrists, this is a nice way to go. And some people, when they're holding the strap, get kind of tense in their jaw. So now we're pulling the toes towards us. Heel is down. And notice where your stretch is. You want to make sure this knee isn't locking. So that would mean you were jamming back. So try not to jam back. In fact, give it a little micro bend. And then play with pulling the strap towards you, and notice if you feel a stretch or not. If you'd like to lift the leg, you can. Now, if you're using your hands and not the loop, if you take your hands back towards you and hug your arms into your ribs, it'll help so your shoulders don't lift up, and then we don't stress the shoulders out. They're stressed enough, and you may lift the leg up. And then let's breathe here for about 3 to 5 breaths. And then we're going to turn the leg out. We're going to inhale and exhale And then we're going to turn the heel in and the toes outward. And then you can place the leg down, or it could be up. You could start with it down. And then we're going to take a breath in and out. And maybe lift up. And notice if it feels any different to the side like that. For some people, they feel it. Some they don't. And then toes back up. And lower the leg down. Let's hold on to the side of the chair, same leg is out, and circle the ankle around and about. And then reverse it. We're sitting tall. And then point it away, flex it towards you, step the foot back in. We're going to lift the same knee up towards us and place the foot on the thigh. And get our little hip stretch in here. We sit tall. We always sit tall. Now, the other thing that tends to happen is people like to round over their back. But what we really, the upper back or the shoulders, we want to try to keep that open with that smile across the collarbone. Lean forward. It's coming from down here. The bend is from hinging from the hip. So the head's not here, and the head's not back there, but it's extending from the spine. When you start to feel a sensation, take 3 to 5 breaths, nice long breaths. So breathe in for a few counts and breathe out for a few counts. And then we'll extend the leg and place it back down. Walk a few times in place just to kind of keep things moving. And we'll put the strap around the other leg, the left leg. And you choose whether you're using this loop or you're using your hands and you're hugging your elbows in towards your ribs. Now, it's going to be the same thing here. We don't want to do any hinging with the shoulders. We want to do the hinge from here. We don't want to do any rounding with the shoulders. We want to hinge from our hips if we're going to lean forward a bit. So shoulders are up and back, and then lifting the leg and feeling the stretch. You might use one hand. You might have your wrist here. Now I let the loop get too long. And hold it, toes are upright, push heel away, try not to jam the leg. The heel can also be down here, and just feel the sensation and notice, is it down here or is it up here? And then maybe lifting it up, holding for a few breaths, and turn the toes out and the heel in. Notice what you feel. Upper, lower leg, back to center, and let's find our number 4. Find our number 4. So we're going to lift tall, and we're going to hinge from our hips. Lean forward, head's not leading, lean forward until you feel a stretch, and then stop. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. As you feel the stretch, you might go a little bit further, or you might just say it's perfect just as it is. Or you might say, oh, this is intense. I'm going to back off of it a bit. And then lift back up and place the foot down. And take a moment to notice how your legs feel now. I'm going to turn the chair back this way. And let's come back to our shoulders a little bit. So circling one arm around and then the other. That's it. And feel like you're moving through water, and you can use your gaze to follow your fingertips. And then bring the arms forward, out to the side like the breaststroke. Now here they're forward, and feel your shoulder blades off your back. Like you're reaching for somebody's hands, and you'll feel your shoulder blades round. Then push the water away and feel how your shoulder blades come together. Right about here, you're really feeling them together. Push it away. Open it up. Bend it on in. Press, open, bend. Press, open, bend. One more time. And let's play with cobra pose seated. So we do this, we do the baby cobra when we're on our belly, which we'll do, which is wonderful for our shoulders, but try it here. You can also do this against a wall. I'll show it in a second just so you can see it, but palms, pretend they're pushing into a wall. Elbows are lower than our shoulders for sure. And then we're gonna lift our heart towards the sky, but not all the way. We don't want to drop the head back. And now we're in a little baby cobra side view. So lifting, feeling shoulder blades coming together, and back of the neck is long. And then lift back up. And let's do that again. So palms forward like you're going to press into a wall or the floor, the earth. Shoulders up and back. Lift your heart. And it's still like you're pushing into something with your palms. Elbows are by your side. Come back up. Notice how that feels. Now, some of you can take your hands behind your head, and some of you are, it's not a good thing. You don't want to push your head. But here's another back bend. You can take one or both elbows forward with your hands behind your head. And then pull your elbows back. So here's forward, pull elbows back, lift heart, lift elbows. And notice how you feel here. This is a little baby back bend. And then come back upright. Release it. And let's do some sun salutes integrating some of these moves. So we're going to inhale and take our arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side. Release the hands to the thighs. Draw the shoulders up and back. Here's your little baby cobra right here with your hands on your thighs. Exhale, release. Let your arms go down towards the earth and just hang for a moment. Inhale, hands to the hips. Roll the shoulders up and back. Push down through your feet. Rise up. Inhale, arms out to the side. Lift the arms skyward. Exhale, pull your elbows down. Imagine you're pressing into a wall in front of you. Lift the heart. Elbows tip down and slightly forward. Back of the neck is long. Then rise back up. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold halfway forward. Excellent. Let's release our arms towards the earth. Now, lift your elbows skyward. Lengthen your spine forward. So elbows are up. Spine is forward. You're hinging from your hips. Your head is level, is at a diag from your spine. It's in the same line as your heart, as your thoracic spine, your chest. Elbows are up. Then lift up, tilt the elbows down and the palms back. Arms lift. Out to the side. Lower down, let it go. Release the head and the jaw. Inhale, elbows rise towards the sky. Tip your elbows down, lift your heart up, lean slightly back. We're in that little baby cobra. Elbows are tilting slightly forward, heart is up. Lift high, arms towards the sky. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers, press your palms upwards, and then kind of circle your elbows down and around. We'll just kind of circling one way and then the other. Good. You guys are awesome. Let's add in a little bit of leg work to our sun salute, and then we'll move towards the earth. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms out to the side. Release your hands. Take your hands to your hips. Circle your shoulders up and back. Lift up. Maybe take one leg and lift it. Lift it forward. Heel is forward. Exhale, lower the heel down. Now we're going to hinge from our hip. Hinge from the hip, moving forward. Heels down, toes are up. Elbows are moving towards each other, but don't pull too tight or that collarbone is going to feel tight. Push down through the heel and the foot. Rise up. Leg lifts. Arms rise to the sky. Exhaling, release. Let's do the other side. Exhale, arms lower. Inhale, they lift. Exhale, we fold. Release down. Inhale, hands to the hip. Draw the shoulders up and back. Lengthen the spine and the crown of the head. Push down through the right foot. Inhale, left leg lifts. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower the heel down. You're going to hinge from your hip. Lean forward. Spine long. Heart bright and shiny. Inhale, lift up. Maybe arms and leg lift. And place the foot back down. All right, that was awesome. Let's move down towards the earth for the second half of our class. So bring the block and the strap with you. If you have 2 blocks, bring them with you. Because I'll show you something that I love for the shoulders. You know, I have all kinds of things I love for the shoulders. And so I'm going to move the chair so it's against the wall to come on down. Might use a blanket. We are going to do a little bit of cobra. So you might want the blanket under your belly or your hips. You guys know if you're tender. We want to take care of our tender spots. So holding on to the chair, slowly bringing one knee down and the other. Try not to use your shoulders when you come down. Turn the belly on, turn the core on a little bit so we're not muscling it down. I'm going to move the chair out of the way so it's not blocking your view. And then I'm going to come on to hands and knees. You might have the blanket underneath your knees. And before we even start this work on our hands and knees, how about we circle the wrists around and about? Circle them around and about. And then we're going to place the palms down, fingers spreading, walking knees back, pushing pads of fingers down. Exhaling, let's go into cat pose. Exhale, round the spine. And then inhale the other way, sitting bones rise. And shoulder blades are coming together on the back. Exhale, we round, belly pulls in, finger pads press down. And then inhale, sitting bones rise, hearts rising. Breathe in and breathe out. Come to neutral. Come to neutral. And then place your left hand to center. So about underneath your chest. And inhale the right arm outwards and up towards the sky. And this bottom shoulder needs to externally rotate so the shoulder's not coming forward. And it's about over the wrist, but not quite. It's a little bit behind it. And So the arm lifts up again, and maybe take your fingertips to your head, and the elbow rises up. And then exhale, lower the elbow down, and inhale, lift it back up. And exhale, lower down. And one more, lift it up. Let's place the hands down. Rock forward and back. Little break. Notice if that was a lot on your arm. You can always come down onto your forearm or maybe roll the mat. It'll be a little bit less pressure on your wrist for the other side. I'm going to turn this way for the other side. And here we go. We're going to bring now the right hand to center. So underneath our chest, inhale the left arm out to the side and up towards the sky. You might gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, flow it down. Inhale, it lifts up. And maybe you take your fingertips towards your head and elbows up. And then exhale, curl the elbow down. Inhale, lift it up. Beautiful. Exhale, lower it down. One more. So we're gazing to the side as the elbow lifts. Place the hand down. And let's find a shoulder opener, which is a, it can be child pose, but it's kind of in between down dog and child pose, or some people call it puppy pose. Felix and Oscar, who are sleeping, and you probably can't see at the moment. And you can put blocks under your hands too. So this pose is actually called Anahat Asana, and Anahat is heart in Sanskrit. So here we are, and our hips are over our knees rather than back, but do what's comfortable for you. And you might want a blanket under your feet if you know you cramp. And so hips over knees, and then arms grow straight, and you can press your palms down or your finger pads down. And we're going to lift the heart up, but then we're going to exhale like a hammock and lower it down and make this little pulsation. So fingertips are down or hands are down, and we're lifting and we're lowering. And we're lifting and we're lowering. Now, we can look under one arm. So I'm going to look under the left arm dome and look at you guys. And then come back to center. And then lift the arm bones again and look under the opposite side. And come back to center. And you can do that one more time. I just want to show you with the blocks that it's a nice option too. And you guys could either go back towards child pose with your hands on two blocks, or you could do what we just did and have your hands on the blocks and then melt the heart. And it feels good. So I'm pushing my palms into the blocks and the heart is melting down, but the head is up. And this is really nice. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's find our way onto our bellies. Take the blocks with you, one or both, or neither. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. And let's do first our cobra. We'll do some inchworms with the cobra. Get our pelvis moving a little bit. So relax your head on your stacked hands. And then let's release any lower back pain by shifting the hips one way and then the other, towards the right and towards the left. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. And come to center, lift your sitting bones up, pelvis tilts forward, and then exhale, sitting bones down towards your heels. So inhale, sitting bones rise, and exhale, lengthen the sitting bones towards your heels. Let's do that again. Inhaling and exhaling. A few more times, tilting the pelvis forward and back. We call this inchworm. Then we're gonna go into baby cobra. I think cobra is one of the best poses to help us feel our shoulder blades on the back. We did it in the chair. Now we're doing it on the earth. So hands come wide. You can take them off of your mat. And then they're by the side of your heart, maybe slightly forward. So here we are long. My head is not down, it's up. It's lengthening forward from the heart. You can push your fingertips down or your palms down. We draw the shoulders up and back. So roll them just like we were doing. Shoulders up and back without pulling too far back. You're going to feel your shoulder blades come onto the back right here. This is where you could stay, or you might lift your heart up a little bit as you push your palms or your finger pads down. Elbows are moving back. And then exhale and release down. And let's do that again. Push down, shoulders up and back. Feel the blades move in towards each other. And exhale and lower down. Inhale, we rise. And exhale, we lower. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then take a little break. And let's bend the right knee and pull the heel in towards your buttocks. And let that go. And then bend the left knee and place that in towards your buttocks. And let that go. And notice at some point, if it feels like you're feeling tightness, as the heel comes in, does it feel like you're getting a stretch? And do it one more time to the other side. And we'll move towards a thigh stretch. So we've done this before. You can be on your belly. And if you were already feeling a stretch here, then you don't need to take it any further. If not, stay on your belly and grab a foot. Or you can put a strap around your ankle or foot and draw your shoulder up and back. And you can be, head can relax down on your hand, or you can prop yourself on your forearm as you pull the heel in towards you. Now, you can go for the outside of the foot or the inside, but it probably is easier to take your hand to the outside as you pull in. When you feel a stretch, stop, breathe, maybe let go a little bit, and then pull back in. Take about 3 to 5 breaths here. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, some of you like the stretch on the side, so I'll make sure to show the side on my left side. Release the leg, maybe swish the hips back and forth, and then you're going to do the other side. So I'm going to go on the side for this one. And move this out of the way. So on the side, both these can be bent. That helps our balance. And we can take the foot forward, grab it, and pull it back. This is one of the best stretches for the front of the thigh. I think it's one of the best stretches. You can do this in bed, by the way, if you don't want to go down to the mat. That's a good alternative. So we're pulling heel in and stop when you start to feel a stretch. You can always let go. If you feel any cramping, massage the back of your leg a little bit and then go back in. So if you feel cramping, let it go. Don't push through it. Let the leg go and then move in once again. And we'll let that go. Let it go. Now, let's go on to our back. Bridge is a great place to open the shoulders. You can use a block underneath your hips, and that can be more of a passive bridge, or you can do some movement. So here's what it looks like. We're on our back, our feet are towards our hips, the toes are pointing forward, our shoulders move towards our ears so that we get nice and long. They're not going to touch our ears, but they get long. For the passive bridge, you might put the block underneath your sacrum. You want to get a place where it's not going to cut you. This is a nice place to be, and then you can roll your shoulders underneath you. You could stay here for a bit. We want to make sure there's space in between the neck and the earth. So we don't want a flat neck down. You don't want your spine, your neck spine pushing into the mat. So you can either choose to stay here or, and when you're here, you can press the arm bones and the sides of your shoulders down as you lift your heart up a little bit. Another wonderful thing is our bridge pose. So we can have our arms either down by our side or in the robot where the upper arms are pushing down. And we're going to lift our hips and then walk our shoulders underneath us. So for this pose, right now, I'm focusing on my heart rather than so much the hips. We don't want to jut the hips so far forward that we're jamming them up. So a little softness here, not a hardness. And we're pushing down through our feet, but we're really minding our shoulder area and that we're not pushing the back of the neck down. There's a little point behind your head, and that could be touching down, and that's a good place for it, but no deep pressure. And then the heart is lifting up, and you might start to feel some tone in your hips. And that's a good thing too. Let's exhale and lower the hips almost all the way down. So you'll feel some softness. The toning will go away in the hips. And we're going to push down through our feet. Lift up, shoulders down, heart lifting. Heart is moving towards your chin. Breathe in. Breathe out, and then exhale and slowly lower down. Almost all the way. Don't turn your head, by the way, when you're in bridge. Even though I'm looking at you, I just want to see what you're doing. And then, not that I can see you, but push down through your feet. Inhale, lift your hips. I just like to know you're still there. And then we're toning the hips. We're pushing the arm bones down. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And let's exhale and lower down. And just notice how your body feels now. And then bring your knees in towards you. Massage your spine. Roll right and left. Roll right and left a few times. As you breathe in and out. And let's give ourselves a happy baby. So bring your arms either on the inside of your legs or the outside, and bring your knees towards your shoulders. A little more rocking. You can weave your arms around or not. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out and out and in. Come back to center, bring your knees in towards you, roll to your side. We're just going to come up for a moment, a few breaths, and take your time. And we're going to come back to hands and knees and do just a few push-ups and really feel our shoulder blades on the back. So our palms come down, and we're going to bend our elbows. Our knees are underneath our hips. Our elbows are soft. And we're going to do a few push-ups with your shoulder blades on the back, just so you can really feel that. So bend your elbows. Keep your heart and your spine in line, and then lift up. So when you come down a few inches, you're going to feel your shoulder blades on your back, the crown of the head reaching forward. Push down, rise up. Just a few more. I know you're thinking, oh, it was time to relax. What are you doing? But I want you to feel your strength. One more. And then release. And let's come to seated. Just a little more stretching before we go down for our rest. So sitting on a blanket or a block. And we'll start with our butterfly. We always start with butterfly, don't we? Hands at, not always, but it's a nice place to be when we're in seated because it's a nice symmetrical pose. And you might put a block under one of your or both of your knees if they need support. Then taking your strap with you, we're going to extend the left leg and the right knee is bent. So it looks like seated tree pose. And our knee is supported. If it's flat down, you don't need support, but otherwise it's really nice to have some support under the knee. And we will bring the strap around the foot. Now you don't have to use the strap, but a lot of people like it. So we lift up tall. We're going to hinge from our hips. And the way to do that is to make sure your hips are on that blanket, maybe two, so that your hips are higher than your knees. Then we lean forward until you feel a stretch in the back of your legs. And maybe a little stretch in your lower back. That's it though. You don't need to feel much more than that. Breathe in, breathe out, either holding on to strap or releasing the strap. Some people really love it. They feel like it's giving them something to grab onto and to pull, but you don't necessarily need it. We're hinging from the hip without rounding our shoulders over. So the spine is long. Let's stay here for a few more breaths, and then we'll switch sides. Feel your breath, listen to your breath, feel the sensation of the pose. Now inhale and come on up, extending the right leg, bending the left knee, and then support your knee with a block or a pillow or a roll blanket. Sit tall, maybe use the strap. We're tall, we're lifting up and out of the waist. We're going to hinge from the hip to come forward. Here we are, we're moving forward. When we feel the sensation, we stop. You could even release the strap at that point, put it to the side, hands by the side of your leg, and feel. I'm feeling a sensation right here. I don't need to go any further. Everyone thinks they got to get their hands to their foot, and that's just not true. You need to tell people that's not what yoga is about. Tell them so they know. We need them to know there's this, that everyone thinks they can't. A lot of people think they can't do yoga because they think they got to get their hand to their foot or that they're just not flexible. But the whole idea is it's helping you be right where you're at. Breathe in and breathe out. And then take both legs long, shift forward and back on your sitting bones. Feel nice and tall in stick pose. This is stick pose. And you could even have blocks by your side for stick pose to help you kind of prop up. Roll the shoulders up and back here. And then you might feel a stretch without leaning forward, but you can tilt your pelvis forward. If it comes forward without rounding your back, we're not trying to touch our toes, we're just leaning forward, and your hands can be down by your side, or you could have the strap around your feet. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. And feet are about hip distance apart. I just noticed mine are kind of coming together, but you could even have the block in between like that. That's a nice adaptation too. And then we come on up, and you can either do a seated twist or you can lie down on your back twist. So a seated twist could look something like this. And then one hand in front of your shin and turning towards the upper knee. That's one type of twist. And then of course we would do the other side, or you can come down onto your back and do what we usually do, which is a nice twist here. Knees go to one side, arms in cactus or T. as we breathe in and out. Stay for 3 to 5, maybe even 10 breaths on one side. And then the other when you're ready, bringing your knees up, maybe shifting your hips to the right and lowering your knees down towards the left. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel your breath. This is also a wonderful place to feel the shoulders open. And when you're ready, finding your final resting pose. And this is where you might put your feet up on the chair. You might put a bolster underneath your knees. Or you might put a rolled blanket underneath your spine, which I have showed before, one of my favorite things to do, like this, and like this. And then we roll down onto it and relax. And that's where you remain for several breaths. Knees can be up or legs can be down, or you could have your feet in butterfly. Such a nice place to be. Knees together, feet apart, arms down by the side, resting. I've noticed how I've got a little pillow under my head. It's just a blanket folded. And this is a nice place to open up the heart and let the shoulders drape down over the blanket. The breath becomes soft without trying to control it. You feel the air come in and out through your nose. Breathing in and out. Soft breathing. Not trying to get anywhere or do anything. Just being right here. Feeling sensation run through the body. All the work that you've done is now settling in and absorbing into your tissues, your cells in your body, deep, deep in as you rest. And you can stay as long as you want in your resting pose. It's your weekend, it's your Friday. I encourage you to rest and relax and just be. Feeling the belly, the wave of the belly as you breathe. The dogs have been relaxing. Oscar and Felix have been relaxing the whole class. They know how to take a nice relaxation pose. So stay as long as you want, or you can roll to your side when you're ready. I really encourage you to stay even longer than we're together. And then you come on up, come into a seated pose, a comfortable seated pose. And we bring our hands together in front of the heart as we express gratitude for our practice together. For developing the connection between our mind, our body, our heart, and our breath. Namaste, everyone.